When reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, most people can visualize the Queen's bizarre croquet match in their minds. The balls were live hedgehogs. The mallets, flamingos, and the arches were soldiers bent over backwards, literally. Some readers may imagine this scene vividly from the prickly texture of the hedgehog to the exact shade of the Queen's flushed cheeks. But for a small percentage of people, nothing appears in their mental theater. No colors, no shapes, just blank. This condition is called aphantasia, and it's estimated to affect around 4% of the population. It was first documented in the 1800s when a psychologist asked people to mentally picture their breakfast table and rate how detailed and colorful the image was. That experiment revealed something fascinating. Mental imagery exists on a spectrum. At one end, there's aphantasia, no mental images at all. At the other end, there's hyperphantasia, where imagined visuals are so detailed they rival real life. And most people land somewhere in between. But here's the big question. How do we actually know what's going on in someone else's mind? What if two people are describing different versions of the same experience? To explore this, researchers turned to the eyes. Specifically, they studied pupillary light reflexes. The automatic narrowing of the pupil in response to brightness. What's wild is that simply imagining a bright light can trigger the same pupil reaction as seeing one. But in people with aphantasia, this doesn't happen. No mental image, no pupil constriction. That's not just psychology. That's measurable, physical evidence. Even more curious, people with aphantasia often do experience visual imagery while dreaming. Why? It may come down to how the brain handles different kinds of imagery. When you consciously try to picture something, your brain uses what's called a top-down process. You activate decision-making regions first, which then send signals to memory and visual areas to generate the image. People with hyperphantasia tend to have stronger connections between those regions. But in aphantasia, the links are weaker or missing. Dreaming, on the other hand, seems to rely on a bottom-up process. Deep brain regions spark activity in the visual system spontaneously. So even if someone can't picture things while awake, their sleeping brain can still generate images. There's also a genetic component. Aphantasia often runs in families, suggesting there's a heritable factor. Most people with it are born that way, but it can also develop later in life, usually after brain injury or trauma. Still, it's not considered a disorder, just a unique way the human mind can work. And it has unexpected side effects. For example, when people read a gripping story, those with vivid imagery often sweat, literally, because their imagination triggers physical arousal. People with aphantasia, no sweat, no image, no emotional simulation. Interestingly, some researchers think aphantasia might protect against certain mental health issues, especially ones that rely on disturbing mental images, like PTSD. But the science is still early. It can even impact memory. People with hyperphantasia often recall events more vividly, like they're re-experiencing them instead of just remembering facts. And career paths may differ too. A large survey found that those with aphantasia tend to gravitate towards STEM fields, while those with hyperphantasia often choose the arts, media, or design. So, if you've ever wondered whether other people see the same things you do in their mind, the truth is, they probably don't. Everyone's inner world looks different. Some just happen to be blank. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with another video.